And now for something completely different.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cinematic Relief. I'm Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
And I'm Monsoon.
There it is.
And I think you're officially the first guest on this podcast ever.
Oh,
Yay!
yeah. Sorry we couldn't get Emil Ebert, but
Yeah.
you know.
I'm sorry. I know that I'm a poor substitute.
Could you just pretend to be Emil Ebert? Talk about how you love Pokemon and you love teaching your uncle the wrong way to play Pokemon.
Oh God.
Grandfather?
Uncle.
Uncle?
Yeah,
It's
it's his nephew.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You got to know things about him if you want him on our podcast. We're going to get a cease and desist from him being like, stop talking about me.
Oh my God.
You said outrageously rude things about my grandfather.
No,
Please stop.
I've been so careful to like only talk in like criticisms, not once have I been like, I hate Roger Ebert, he's a bad critic. We always make a point to like analyze and dissect his thoughts.
Okay.
I feel like we're pretty respectable of Roger Ebert's legacy.
Okay.
He
Fair
just said
enough.
some whack shit.
Yeah, he said some crazy stuff. But, we'll get to all of them eventually on this
Right.
podcast.
Granted, like he has to know like what the movie's about before he can critique it. Hashtag Ninja Turtles. Hashtag frogs.
Yeah, well, he's dead, so he can't bother you anymore, Colin.
He can't hurt you now.
I don't know what this episode's going to be called, because
I think we should put all of the... Ooh, good luck putting all of the movies up on the screen.
Okay,
Wow.
I won't have an issue at all, because I put one up, and then we stop talking about it, and then I take it down, I put the other one up.
Well, all right. Well, not if I mention them all at once.
Don't do that. You should talk about the Breaking Bad movie real quick, just to get it out of the way.
Okay, no, I won't
Oh,
say...
no, no,
hey,
no,
no,
he's
no,
not
no.
gonna... No, he's not
Spoil-
gonna
This
spoil
is going to be a
anything.
spoiler-free because the other two people in this room are still watching Breaking Bad.
I'm not watching Breaking Bad yet.
So this person died right at the beginning.
No, how do you like it? Was it good? Was
Yeah.
it...
It was good. There's still some unanswered questions, but with a show that big and so many... what's the word I'm looking for?
Plot lines?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so many
Storylines?
Twist?
intricate
Okay.
plot lines.
Oh.
You're going to have unanswered questions.
See,
and-
Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, I was just going to say there's also a TV show still
Right.
going on, so I think that might tie
Is it
up
Better
some
Call
loose ends,
Saul
too.
or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See, I don't know. I know I'm not one to talk because I haven't seen anything Breaking Bad, but like I disagree. I feel like if you're like, you know how Breaking Bad is over and this is the movie version of it, they should answer all the questions.
Well, there's some questions that I had myself that's it's like it's not important, but
Okay.
they could have talked about it, but nobody's upset because they didn't, but I'm just sitting here like, oh, well, that's something I would have liked to know about, but there's so much important stuff they had to fit into an hour and 40 minutes in what I was thinking would have took the movie in a whole different direction.
Oh, okay.
So it just wasn't going to get brought up.
Okay.
One of the things.
That's fair.
But it was good. I think people liked it.
It's a Netflix exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Why is that, you think?
I don't know because Breaking
Breaking
Bad
Bad
was
was
AMC.
Right.
The people who
I mean,
make
Breaking
Walking
Bad-
Dead, right?
Breaking Bad
Yeah.
is like still on Netflix, so maybe that's why.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just weird that they made the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe give what's it called? Who's the creator of Breaking Bad again?
Vince
Gilligan.
Yes.
Vince Gilligan. Yeah, maybe like
Something
Oh,
like
no,
that.
what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say Vince something or other, but then you said it.
I was about to say Vince Gilligan, but now that I say that out loud, I think maybe that's the guy who made BioShock. I'm going to look it up.
No, it's
Or-
Vince something or other.
yeah.
I'm going to look it up.
I'm thinking like maybe like he decided to like go with Netflix because like they would give him more like license to like make his thing because he wrote it and he directed it.
Yeah, but I have a feeling AMC would have
I was right.
made
Oh,
him.
nice.
Vince Gilligan.
Yeah.
There we go.
I feel like AMC would have been like, no, that's our show.
Mm.
But regardless,
Ken
did pretty good.
Levine. Ken Levine made BioShock. No one was asking, but I've answered.
anyways, I think you got to keep in mind that it's about not Walter White
Right.
when
Yeah,
you're watching.
It's
right.
about guy from
Aaron
BoJack
Paul.
Horseman. Yeah,
Yeah.
Aaron
Oh,
Paul.
okay.
Aaron Paul was in. Pauline, have you seen what's it fucking called? Have you seen the Final Fantasy 15 movie
Yes.
The one that was like CGI.
I haven't seen Kingsglaive.
Kingsglaive. Yeah, that's
not
what
yet.
it's called.
Is
was,
he in that?
Yeah, he's the main character.
He's Nyx?
I don't know about specific
But
names.
he's the name. He's the main character.
He's the main dude. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I was just about to talk about how he definitely didn't want to be. He gave a very boring performance.
Oh my god!
I don't know if
Come
they
on.
told him to act like that, but it was hard to watch with what little acting he was doing.
Oh, that sucks.
What's cool about, I mean, this is a little bit of a spoiler and way off topic. What's
Mm.
cool about the Final Fantasy 15 movie is that Ultros, the octopus from 6, and Ruby Weapon from 7 are in the movie,
Oh, nice.
which is cool. Anyways, but Ultros doesn't talk, which
Do you
is
know
weird.
who plays the princess in that movie?
Luna Freya?
Yeah,
It's Lena Headey, the person who plays Cersei Lannister.
exactly.
Oh, was that a quiz? Yeah, I fucking know
No,
who plays
Okay,
her.
I was gonna say like it would. I mean, just a cool bit of trivia.
I don't know why they didn't get the person who voiced her in the video game.
It's kind of weird. I mean, I think they were just doing that just because like, oh, like it's Lena Headey. Oh, it's the chick from Game of Thrones. Oh, let's push
Right.
this. So
No, but I was watching that. I was like, oh, that's cool. They got Lena Headey to voice this character, and then they didn't. It was someone else
It was
in the
kind
game.
of weird. Anyway.
Anyways,
Sorry.
wildly off topic. Barely related to what Chris was
Anthony.
talking about.
I have a bit of trivia.
Sure.
How many Mario games did they make before Super Mario 64?
Well, I mean, I did go to elementary school, so it had to have been 63, right?
Yeah.
Like you make the first one, and it's pretty good, and then you make 63 others in the span of like
62.
4 years. You know? I don't know. I don't know.
Anyways,
Do
Anyway.
you want me to talk about why I don't like Mario 64, or
No.
did you want to talk
No,
about
no,
the
no.
Joker movie?
yeah, okay. Moving on to the Joker movie.
Joker.
That was our spoiler-free El Camino. Watch it if you liked Breaking Bad. We're running
You
through
know,
them
did
today.
you notice that I've taken control of when the posters go up?
Yes,
Yes.
I have noticed. So, Pauline,
Yes,
the Joker.
the Joker.
But in El Camino,
Okay.
no,
What the fuck? Oh.
I just wanted you to have to put up a bunch of posters left and right.
Joker.
Yeah, so
So
the
Chris
Joker,
and Chris and Pauline saw Joker. I did not.
Yeah.
Yes,
Spo-
and Anthony does not care if we spoil
Yeah,
it.
I don't
so
give a shit. I'm not gonna
So-
see
I'm
this
going to talk
fucking
about
movie.
the whole movie, but first, I
Talk
wanna
about how
hear
many
about
Batman appearances were in the
Uh,
movie.
There were 0.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
But there was a Bruce Wayne appearance.
There was
Who played Bruce Wayne?
a little boy.
some little guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's actually
This movie takes place in the 70s.
Yep.
okay.
It tells the
No, that makes sense.
it's the origin story of Joker, but like not the chemical vat one. It's like you actually like see the guy like I think it's like okay, Arthur Fleck is the Joker, right? But you just see him like go from like he starts out with like a mental illness like at the very beginning of the film.
Mhm.
Like he's a guy who's like had this like mental illness and he's also had this like disability where like he laughs uncontrollably. Like he can't it's kind of like a tick.
Okay.
So it's actually like based on a real medical condition.
Okay.
I think it's called pseudobulbar or something like that. Basically,
I wanted to talk about the movie, but it's okay.
I-
I asked you how you liked it, but it's all right.
this is the medical standpoint, so I'm
Okay.
just saying how accurate it was. But yeah, there's like a condition where like you laugh uncontrollably, you cry uncontrollably, and he basically has that. And I just like thought that it was very like, they were able to take that aspect of him and make it into something that he couldn't control. So he's like more
So-
of a like sympathetic kind of character.
So was this movie Killing Joke? Was it like I want to be a
No, it-
stand-up comedian and let one last job, let's do a heist, and then Batman comes and he falls in?
No,
it?
no.
No.
So this takes place like the Bruce Wayne is still little. He's
Right.
He's
like,
like a 12-year-old kid or
and,
something.
like,
Right.
spoilers at the very end. You actually see Thomas and Martha Wayne get shot
Okay.
in the alleyway. So
I
that
haven't
ki-
seen that on film before.
yeah, right.
Oh yeah, but
but
ca-
hold on, what?
yeah.
You gotta, Pauline. You gotta. If we're gonna spoil the whole movie, we have to
Ease 'em into it?
Give them their money's worth.
All right,
You
fine.
can't just get to the money shot.
All right. So the
before
opening
explaining the
the
movie.
opening scene.
Hold on. All right, I'm gonna talk about the Joker.
Okay.
Did you like?
It's not the Joker.
It's Joker.
Just Joker.
Well, I guess I won't talk.
I
About it.
I actually surprisingly liked it.
Yeah, she was very skeptical going in, but she liked it.
Yeah.
See that I'm glad whatever that disorder you talked about was like portrayed accurately and
Yeah.
stuff, but like that's not what the Joker is.
I feel like I don't know. Like I feel like as the movie progressed, like you definitely saw like Joker as he is like in the film, or not, yeah, in the films and in like the comic books, like he's nuts, like psychotic and
Right, but the whole
a
thing about the
killer.
Joker is he didn't start out that way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, it's interesting because this guy who portrayed this guy Arthur,
Mm-hmm.
he did have a mental illness and he was a weird dude, but he was harmless.
Yeah.
And he was actually a clown, like
Yeah.
that was his profession.
Okay.
The opening scene is literally like him, like, I mean, I think you've seen the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like him, like with the sign, and like he's like dancing out in the street,
Yeah.
and then he gets like jumped by these kids, and they beat him to the ground and like kick him and like all that stuff. He doesn't do anything but like just roll like in the dirt, and
Yeah,
he doesn't-
he's a very non-aggressive character at the beginning, but
Yeah.
through a series of events like he loses his job,
yeah.
his mother ends up in the hospital, and
Like basically his friends like turn their backs on him.
Okay.
So
yeah, and what happens is his mother claims that
Thomas Wayne.
yeah, Thomas Wayne is his father,
Okay.
and so he confronts Thomas Wayne, and he's like, "No, your mom's insane. You were adopted."
Yeah.
So just to take it a step further,
Okay.
not only that, but she's not even your real mom.
Wait,
she's
Joker
insane.
doesn't kill Thomas and Martha, does
No.
he?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay,
So
good.
he's at so in the movie he actually like kills like 3 like Wall Street bankers after like they
who
tried.
worked for Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, they
Okay.
essentially started harassing him, and like in self defense he killed 2 of them. But then like just for fun, I guess, he like killed the other one in cold blood. And
Okay.
that's like what starts this whole like descent into madness. And also like in the background as well, you notice that Gotham is like going through like this like chaotic phase where like there's nobody, like everybody's like going crazy, like there's crime everywhere, the police aren't doing anything, and like the politicians are corrupt.
Okay.
And like basically there's like a whole like a big gap between like the wealthy and like the middle class, and that's the background. And like because he's a clown, he killed these 3 Wall Street bankers. And also Thomas Wayne in an earlier scene he's actually running for mayor, and he said that like all these poor people, all these like middle class people who are like jealous of us wealthier folk, they're just nothing but clowns. So that kind of like starts that whole
Oh,
motif
okay.
of like, okay, I'm a clown, like everybody's a clown because we're not wealthy.
Who plays Thomas Wayne?
Oh, I don't know.
Some guy.
Was it a nobody?
Yeah.
I doubt he's a nobody, but like we
I'm
don't
gonna
really
look
know
it
him.
up.
But
But,
yeah.
But the movie kind of sets up. So what happens is there's this TV show that Arthur's really into, and
Okay.
it's a comedy show, and he's an awful stand-up comic.
Is that
'Cause
where
that's
Robert De Niro comes in?
Yes.
Yes,
I saw
Robert
him in
De Niro's
the
the host.
I saw him in the trailers and stuff.
So Robert De Niro he plays some of Arthur's stand-up, and they're making fun of how bad he is and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, okay.
meanwhile, he's becoming the Joker, and he calls him. His secretary calls up Arthur and is like, "Oh, we want to have you come on the show," and it's all to make fun of him.
Is
right?
it kind of
Yeah.
like before the Disaster Artist movie? Is it kind of like whenever someone would interview Tommy Wiseau,
Yeah, it's just to make fun of him type of situation.
but like Tommy Wiseau's none the wiser?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so this movie kind of sets up that he's gonna commit suicide on the show.
Okay.
Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if you noticed that, but like he's practicing at
He's
home.
he's practicing like with an actual gun in his hand, like it's not loaded.
Oh.
But it's
Yeah,
like he
and he's like,
shooting
yeah.
practicing shooting himself. Yeah.
And so it gets to the night of the show, and he's there, and he's in full makeup, and they're like, "That's a little creepy, but okay, come on the show."
We-
And
we think that he's making a political standpoint because of all the clowns that
yeah, everybody's dressing as
Mhm.
clowns.
yeah,
to make
and
a-
rioting, yeah.
and so he's on the show, And
First of all, that would not, like, if he showed up in full makeup, they'd be like, all right, so go to makeup so they can take all that off.
right, no,
Yeah.
well, that kind of happened. His manager was like, "You're not going to wear that, right?" With all the political stuff going on, he's like, "It's not a political thing. This is part of my act."
Yeah.
And that's
And-
when his manager should have been like, okay, but, like, still take it
No,
off.
I know. Well, Robert De Niro's character was like,
He's like,
"Nah,
"No,
keep
no,
it on
it's all right."
and come out." And so, essentially, long story short, for this scene, he goes out. He's weird, and he admits on TV, he's like, "Oh, I killed those 3 guys."
Yeah.
Oh.
And then they're sitting there talking, like, for real. Robert De Niro's character isn't playing like I'm the host. He's like,
He's like a Jimmy Fallon, David
right,
Letterman
right,
type,
yeah.
right?
But
Yeah.
he drops the act there, and he's like, and they're being serious with each other. And the Joker's like, "So can I say one of my jokes?" And, like, I'm not gonna quote it exactly, but he was like, "Fine, I guess." And he's like, "Knock, knock, who's there?" And Joker's like, "It's not funny to make fun of people with mental illness," and just shoots him in the face.
Or like, and
Oh.
also it's like
So it-
what do you get when you cross like a society that abandons its like people like me with like people like me, and then it's like you get what you deserve, and then he just
Yeah.
shoots.
So it seems like it drew a lot of inspiration from Killing Joke without actually telling the Killing Joke, because he literally does
Yeah.
that in Killing Joke.
Right.
Killing Joke takes place. No, sorry, that doesn't happen in Killing Joke. That happens in Dark Knight Returns. In Dark Knight Returns, Joker is good now, and he gets released from jail, but he's not really good, and he goes on like Letterman or whatever,
yeah.
and he takes the
Oh.
coffee cup that they give him, and he
Oh.
crashes it and kills the dude,
Right.
wow.
the host. So it sounds like they're drawing inspiration from other Joker
Yeah.
properties
Yeah.
without telling but like making their own Joker
yeah,
story.
I feel like killing you get wow, you have like the Killing Joke aspect where like he's a failed stand-up comedian, like that part, but then you have like what you just said.
Right, yeah. No, it's kind of exactly what I thought they were going to do. They kind of just told a bunch of different Joker stories at once. But it seems like they did an okay job.
Yeah.
I thought they did all right. I thought he did a really good job.
Oh yeah, Joaquin Phoenix did
Yeah.
a really
Well,
good
you heard
job.
all the stories about him like on set, right?
Yeah.
He fucking like, because Joaquin Phoenix is, I actually think, literally insane. He would just sort of in the middle of scenes just walk out and leave and go to his trailer like screaming to himself, and like the people acting with him were like, did we do something wrong? And the producers had to be like, no, that's just how he acts.
There was a
Except he
Really?
didn't do that with Robert De Niro, I guess.
there's a clip of him like it actually showed on Jimmy Kimmel. There's a clip of him like just on set, and he's like just like he looks like really agitated.
Okay.
And then he starts going off at the cinematographer. He's like, "Could you stop whispering? It's so annoying, and I can't work like this. And like, how dare you call me a diva? And like, you call me like you compare me to Cher. Like, how could you say like Cher's a bad person? She's like a actress, singer, like a triple threat, that kind of stuff." And then he just walks away and leaves. And like he's just super. And like after the clip shows, he's just like super embarrassed about that. So I don't know.
So weird. Why
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
everybody who plays a Joker something weird happens?
Oh, that's the
Jared
thing.
Leto like fucking mailed teeth to Will Smith to get into
Method
role.
acting.
And like Heath Ledger, like I know it's not in line with the other stuff, but Heath Ledger, while being the Joker, OD'd on drugs. And it's just like always something
Oh.
always weird happens with the people playing the Joker.
Don't
Even
say
Jack Nicholson said he had a long, like, after playing the Joker, it took him a long time to kind of like come down
It's
from.
just
Oh,
a
yeah.
role. It's
Yeah.
just act. It's just a role. I
Oh,
don't get it.
what about Mark Hamill though?
Oh,
He's been playing the Joker for years
I think
now.
he's crazy enough that he could.
yeah,
handle it.
yeah.
Wow.
I think he's right on the same level as the Joker, so he's okay.
Mm.
But it was all right. Here's the thing, and I don't know if I said this to you, but I said it to you. If I feel like this would be a great, fantastic beginning to the DC cinematic universe, but it's not. It's right in the middle.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
the part that I'm not confused by. Like, I get it, they're doing their own thing, but it just like
There's just
it
no
frustra-
explanation to anything.
Right.
it frustrates me as a not fan, but like as a consumer of these movies that there's no through line. Like there
Right.
was for a couple minutes
Yeah.
there
And then
between
they
like
stopped.
Batman v Superman and
then
Man of
Justice League.
Steel and Justice League. But like clearly this movie is totally detached from the other movies because there's
Right.
no way that
Yeah.
like old man Joaquin Phoenix grows up into young man Jared Leto, and I'm
Right.
not sitting
Right,
here
yeah.
being like, and that's why it sucks. I'm just saying like, obviously those two movies aren't connected, and I
No.
don't understand
Yeah.
how.
They're two different Jokers, and it's okay if they're two different Jokers, but just
But
explain
like you
it.
said, they didn't say like, well, hang on, kids. This is
Right.
the
Do you think like Jared Leto is like New 52 and then Joaquin Phoenix is like original Joker?
see. That's the thing. That'd be super cool, but that's not what they're saying. They're
Right.
saying no, no, no,
Right.
no, no. Don't worry about that. Just watch the funny
Well,
Joker
no,
that is
movie.
weird.
They're not saying anything.
Right.
they're not saying don't worry about that. They're just saying, there it is.
They just made a movie to make a movie.
Right, which
It's-
is fine, but they own a franchise and they see one doing very successful and theirs is just kind of
Right.
subpar.
I'm telling you, man. Suicide Squad 2 is gonna be good because James Gunn is making it. And what does James Gunn do better than a large cast of misfits?
No, that's fair. They're by proxy they're gonna have a few good ones here and there, but is it gonna make a difference? No.
Right.
No, because like you bring up a lot, the DC movies come out like there's like one DC movie for every 6 Marvel movies.
Mm.
Yeah.
They don't produce enough movies to have a couple duds.
And,
Right.
like they don't. I feel like they also don't have like a specific storyline because like with the Marvel universe, like there is a storyline that you can follow along, and like there's a
And-
certain order. But like with the DC universe, it's like all like jumbled up and like you're so confused.
Yeah.
If you try to like follow them in the order of the release date.
They started too late, and they're not doing a good job of.
Well, they
Yeah.
just kind of stopped, and with no explanation. They're like story, and
Yeah.
then it
Like
is
other than
whatever.
other than Wonder Woman 2, I know that's not what it's called, but other than Wonder Woman 2, which I feel like was supposed to come out 3 years ago and still isn't out yet,
Right.
and Suicide Squad 2, is there anything? Oh, and that fucking Birds of Prey movie. Like,
Oh, the Harley Quinn one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess the Birds of Prey are in that movie.
Yeah.
The movie called Birds of Prey. Is there anything else? Like, what else do we have to look forward to as
I
far
don't-
as the DCU
I think
goes?
I actually read something where like Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, he was like, "I'm done playing
Yeah, he
Superman.
like literally he's done. Affleck is done.
Yeah.
Like the Batman movie is gonna star Robert Pattinson,
Which is
so it's like
weird.
not connected at all anymore.
I
Like
think,
the
like,
Flash
what-
and Cyborg, just their
Yeah.
contracts are up, and
I
they
think
were there
what
for one
happened-
movie.
Yeah, I think what happened was like DC tried to get onto like the Marvel train. Like, okay, we're gonna make our own cinematic universe. We're gonna get these like big stars like Ben Affleck. We're gonna get Henry Cavill, who's like really hot and like apparently a really good actor. Sorry, but I just think like the timing was awful. Like these actors did not really want to play these roles, and that just led to like this big ball of like confusion and like poorly made movies.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate because everybody loves these characters, but that's what happens when you try to rush things and try to compete when you don't really have that time and resources and effort.
Yeah.
Your brother said something when we saw the movie I thought was interesting. It might have been a mistake what he said, but when he said it, I was like, that would make sense, and this would be the right movie to start it with. He used the word revival. He said, and I think it was a mistake, but I thought he said this was the first movie in the revival
That would be cool though.
of the DCCU, which I'm down for that. If this Joker movie is the beginning of a new DCCU, they just
But-
gave up, but it's probably
It's not. They have like 8 different Harley Quinn things coming
Yeah.
out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we get what we get, but like in all, like to be honest, like I love me some Wonder Woman. Like she's my favorite DC superhero, except like in Injustice 2, which I don't like her character in that. But
In
like
the story,
in the story, yeah.
yeah, she's
But-
like the only villain.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Because
anyway,
in the first game, Superman's the villain, but he didn't die. He got like sent to jail
yeah,
in
it's
between
weird
games.
because like she starts goading him. I don't know, but anyway, I love me some Wonder Woman, but I actually think this Joker film is actually better than the Wonder Woman film that came out, and people
Really?
are saying that the Wonder Woman film up to this point has been the best DC film out.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt.
Yeah, I haven't seen Aquaman, but like I've
I haven't
seen like
seen
the other.
Shazam. I heard a lot of people liked that.
Well, I
I
mean,
haven't seen that one
As
yet.
like opposed to like Shazam was like very like lighthearted and that kind of stuff.
Aquaman was bullshit.
Yeah, really.
Aquaman sucked.
All right,
I have
so-
a whole podcast
so
where I
The
complained about how
drama,
bad Aquaman
the
was.
dramatic stuff like Wonder Woman, that's where she wins. Like the dramatic aspect as opposed to like Shazam with like the lighthearted aspect. Yeah. So Wonder Woman and then Shazam and then but Joker is pretty good. It's
Okay.
actually I think it's better than Wonder Woman. Sorry.
No, that's no. You can don't apologize for your opinions, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad people are liking it.
Yeah.
Maybe DC will see that this one's doing good and they'll do something with that. I'm still good. Never
yeah.
seeing
Okay.
it.
No, I mean I saw it, and I'm glad I saw it. It was okay. I'm not watching DC movies though.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
not- I'm not trying to.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Because the Joker movie was so good and you liked it, doesn't mean you're gonna go see the fucking Birds of Prey movie.
No. I'm sorry if you wanted to go see that one, but I'm not going to see that.
I don't think I don't think Ewan McGregor's gonna go see that one.
Oh my god. When I saw him I was like, who the hell is that? I didn't know this. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, it's almost Halloween, and what better time than now to watch Valentine's Day, a rom-com from 2010,
Yeah.
which is what I did.
Which apparently stars Taylor Lautner and Taylor Swift.
Chris, do you know about this movie?
No.
Here, do you want to know who it stars?
What she just said?
Jessica Alba, Kathy Bates, Jessica Biel, Bradley Cooper, Eric Dane, Patrick Dempsey, Hector Elizondo, Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Gardner, Topher Grace, Anne Hathaway, Ashton Kutcher, Queen Latifah, Taylor Lautner, George Lopez, Shirley MacLaine, Emma Roberts, Julia Roberts, and Taylor Swift.
Really?
Yeah,
Wasn't
they're
this
all in this film.
This is when like Taylor Swift and Taylor Lautner were still like dating, right?
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. See, okay, so here's what happens in this movie. I'm not gonna synopsize the entire
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think you can.
But I am going to talk about all the characters because they all play like an archetype of a rom-com pretty much. Okay, let me start by saying I enjoyed this movie. I didn't think I was going to, but I enjoyed this film. And the issue it runs into is there's way too many characters, obvs.
Right.
And like they all have character names, but why learn them? Because like why would I learn Jamie Foxx's character name? I'm just going to call him Jamie Foxx.
Mm.
And it got super confusing because like Jennifer Gardner's character's name was Julia, but Julia Roberts is in the film.
Oh,
So it was
Okay.
just like very confusing. So there's Ashton Kutcher. He is as far as I could tell the main character. He's the one who interacts with the most characters. The camera's on him more times than anyone else. He runs a flower shop. He is going out with Jessica Alba. He wakes her up by proposing to her.
Good.
She literally is like, "Oh, what's happening?" And he's got a ring, and she's like, "Oh." So she says yes. It's been a couple days since I saw this. So then there's Topher Grace and Anne Hathaway, who've been dating for a couple weeks. And you find out that Anne Hathaway runs like a phone sex hotline, which like even back in 2010, I didn't think those were a thing. But she doesn't tell anyone. She keeps it a secret from everybody. And then there's Jennifer Garner and Patrick Dempsey. They have been going out for a couple years. And Patrick Dempsey, I'm pretty sure, is just playing the character he plays on Grey's Anatomy.
Oh God.
Because he was a doctor and he was like, sorry, I have to go to a doctor's meeting on Valentine's Day. Come to find out, he's got a wife and 2 kids that he's
is
going
exactly like what he is in Grey's Anatomy.
I know.
That's ridiculous.
So he's like
Except for the
cheating on
kids part.
Jennifer Garner's
Jeez.
character. Jennifer Garner's best friend is Ashton Kutcher, who works for George Lopez. George Lopez literally is like not important.
Let me
just
guess.
like
He's
the-
in love. He's like secretly in love with her or something like that.
No, George Lopez acts as the like best friend character. He like
Oh.
he's got a like not important wife character, but like he's not like George Lopez doesn't have his own storyline. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then there's Emma Roberts and some kid I've never seen. These are 2 high schoolers, and their storyline is during lunch today on Valentine's Day, they're going to have sex for the first time because Emma Roberts' parents are out of town. Then there's their friends, who are Taylor Swift and Taylor Lautner, who, I don't know if you know this, Chris, but Taylor Swift is known for dating and then breaking up with a lot of famous
Yes.
people,
Yeah.
including but not limited to Taylor Lautner. And this just so happened to be the month that she was dating Taylor Lautner.
Ah.
Yeah.
Their whole thing is, they're just sort of there, and they're both kind of dumb, and that's like their whole story. And then there's Shirley MacLaine and Hector Elizondo, who are two very old, like been married for the last like 40 years couple. Then there's a little kid. He was pretty cute. His whole storyline was he goes to the flower shop and he has definitely not enough money for a whole bouquet, and he's like, "Hey, Ashton Kutcher, I need you to send this girl at my school these flowers at lunchtime."
Aw.
You find out at the end of the movie that the girl he was sending them to was Jennifer Garner, his teacher.
Oh.
But she was like, "You don't want to go out with me because I'm a grown adult. Go out with other girl or whatever."
Oh yeah.
This movie has like Cloud Atlas levels of interconnectivity.
Mhm.
Like Emma Roberts' boyfriend works at the place that the girl that he should be going out with works at, but also Jessica Biel's anti-Valentine's Day party is being held there. That's Jessica Biel's thing. She has an anti-Valentine's Day party that no one RSVP'd to, and that's her whole storyline. Hers intertwines with Jamie Foxx, who is a sports news broadcaster, and his whole thing is like, but today's Valentine's Day, so go do Valentine's Day shit. But the whole time, he's focused on Eric Dane's character. Eric Dane's character, as far as I can tell, is just a football player. And every time it shows him, he's either watching news about himself or listening to news about himself. And all the news is like, is he done? He had such a bad season. Is he never going to play football again? The last one, and I think the best one in the film, it was Bradley Cooper and Julia Roberts. These two were not a couple. They were on a plane together the whole movie.
Mhm.
And their arc is like they didn't know each other. Now they know each other. They're definitely not falling in love. That's not their whole thing. They're just talking, which is cool. And like it got to the point where it was like there's so many A-list actors in this film, and even the supporting characters that aren't on the box are also like recognizable characters. Like Emma Roberts' teacher is the woman Kristen Schaal, the woman who voices Bunny Ears Girl on Bob's Burgers.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just like even the minor characters are big names. Like Kathy Bates got her name on the box. I think she's in one scene.
Wow.
She plays the person who tells Jamie Foxx that he can't do sports today. But it was with so many actors, it just became a competition in my eyes. I was like, well, one of these actors or actresses is going to be better than all the rest of them.
Mhm.
And I would say that the best actor or actress in the film is definitely Julia Roberts.
Okay.
The worst is Taylor Swift.
Oh gosh.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't think it said in the script always be smiling, but it might have. No, who knows?
Can I just say something?
Sure.
She's acting in the new Cats movie.
Yeah.
That's gonna be very interesting.
No one's gonna see that fucking Cats movie.
Oh my God.
It looks so bad. I mean, the story and plot is probably good, but
Yeah, the visuals.
I just can't. I can't.
They
I
could have made
can't.
it animated. They could have made it animated, but they didn't.
Or they could have just gone.
The makeup
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
They could have gone the
Oh,
Broadway
yeah.
route.
Yeah, the live version. I don't know. I
So-
don't know.
Basically, the important things that happen is, the one who had the Valentine's Day party, who no one went to. Everyone started showing up for their own different reasons. She starts going out with Jamie Foxx. Jessica Alba, in the course of one day, changes her mind and moves out and takes the dog with her.
That's
Oh.
awful.
So now Ashton Kutcher's alone. Jennifer Garner finds out about not Brad Paisley,
Bradley
Patrick
Coop-
Dempsey.
oh.
Oh, you
And-
had to throw him in there somewhere.
I'm sorry, I forgot Patrick Dempsey's name. And then she gets mad about that or whatever. She starts going out with Ashton Kutcher, who is actually her best friend. The two that are trying to have sex with each other don't, because the boy is like at the girl's house waiting for her, and then the mom comes home for a second, and hilarity ensues, I'm sure.
Wait, you saw the movie?
I wasn't funny. Like, I enjoyed it, but like every time there was a joke, I was like, oh, whatever. Like, the only comedy in this rom-com was that. And like everything else was like, oh, I've seen this in other movies. Like there's a scene where Jessica Biel's on a treadmill and she tries to turn it off and it starts going faster, and it's like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
every other movie.
Like slapstick. Yeah.
And then you find out that the old couple, the wife had an affair at one point, and they have to get through that, and that's interesting for a minute. Topher Grace is a big asshole and is like, well, if you're gonna do phone sex, I'm gonna break up with you. But then they get back together like a half hour later.
Oh my god.
So the football player was interesting. His big thing was that he was gay the whole time. He holds a press conference and everyone thinks that he's gonna be like, this is my decision on my career, and instead he's like, I'm gay. And I actually teared up at this movie.
Really?
Because at the Bradley Cooper, Julia Roberts up in the plane thing, because you find out that Julia Roberts is like on active duty and she's going home to see somebody, and she has literally one night. She's flying there like 12 hours to see this person, and then she's going to stay there overnight and then leave in the morning. After the plane lands, you find out that her cab is like stuck in a huge amount of Valentine's Day traffic. Bradley Cooper is like super rich. He just gives her a limo and a limo driver. And is like, have him drive you wherever. Turns out that Julia Roberts is the mom of the little kid who gave the flowers to Jennifer Gardner, and Bradley Cooper is the boyfriend of the gay football player.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of cool.
Their storyline was definitely the best one. Most of them were bad, but there were some good ones. I did enjoy this movie. I can't believe that a human being would say yes to getting married and then change her mind within the hour, and then 3 hours later have her stuff and a dog packed up and then leave, and then the person who she broke up with is already in a relationship before that it's not Valentine's Day anymore. This movie, I guess, is part of a trilogy.
It is?
There's like a New Year's Eve and there's like a Mother's Day one.
Really?
But like, and it stars generally the same actors, but they're not playing the same characters.
Oh, I'd hate that.
That's
it's a trilogy in the way that those Simon Pegg movies are a trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, you know what though? I don't mind that. So
yeah, well,
maybe I shouldn't
that's because
judge.
that's like 3 dudes, and
Yeah.
this one is
well, yeah,
18
maybe that's
characters.
yeah, maybe that's why.
No, that's exactly why. So that was that, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's good. I'm glad that you liked it. I'm glad that's what you thought about it. But what did Roger Ebert think about this movie?
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was the year he died, wasn't it?
2013 is when he died.
Oh, so this
Oh.
was 3 years.
This is, I think,
before.
the closest we've ever gotten to.
Can I make a guess?
At the stars?
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. I think this is the closest we've gotten to his Happy Death Day, which is the next movie you're gonna talk about.
Eh.
No, it's not actually.
It's a
Oh.
sequel.
It's a sequel. What's that one called? Exactly.
Okay.
No, what were you gonna say about Ebert? Ebert.
My guess is he loved it. Was outrageously loved it.
I'm going to say a star and... Well, no.
He does it out of 4.
Oh,
Yeah, because he's a weirdo.
He's a
half a
freak.
star.
He gave it 2 out of 4.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
And I just want to remind the audience that Google has no way of quantifying that because they give you a little preview just in case you're like, what did Ebert think of this movie? And you want his quick analysis, not to read the whole thing. But they have it programmed so it's 5 stars because they're not a lunatic. And like if they do 10 stars, that can be quantified. But because he gave it 2 out of 4 stars, Google had to say that he gave it 2.5 out of 5.
Good.
Wow.
Anyways, this one's pretty short, so I'm going to probably read the whole thing, except the part where he lists all the actresses and actors that I mentioned. But 2 out of 4 stars. I've heard of all-star casts, but Valentine's Day has a complete star cast. What did other movies do for talent when this one was filming? It has 21 actors who can be considered stars. Some are very big stars indeed. It's like the famous poster for It's a Mad, 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 Mad World with a traffic jam of famous faces. That's the movie's problem. Gridlock. It needs somebody like that tough traffic warden who stands under the L at Wabash and Randolph and fiercely wags her fingers at drivers who don't behave.
Okay.
The most he's talked about and given me great detail on so far,
Is this woman?
yes, has been
Yeah.
that woman at the stop, whatever.
Which I can only assume is down the street from his house or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The actors in this movie could populate 6 romantic comedies with reasonable plots and a couple of sitcoms. Of course, you'd need scripts. Oh, damn. Is that a jab at this movie?
Wow.
Valentine's Day is so desperate to keep all the characters alive. It's like those Russian jugglers who run around trying to keep all the plates spinning on poles. I won't even attempt to describe the plot, nor will I tell you who the characters are and who plays them. Just the names only. This is my favorite part. Just the names only would. Oh, bless you.
Sorry.
Just the names only would come to 63 words, which means he did type it out and counted. And if I described each character in 20 words, I'd run out of space way before I got to Captain Kate Hazeltine, played by Julia Roberts. Does he still, in 2010, is he still writing for a newspaper?
I hope not. I hope he's just writing for his own website at that point.
I will, because the site I'm on notoriously is an archival site,
Right,
where
right.
someone put all his stuff. But he talks about running out of space. I don't know.
Mm.
I will mention it was nice to see Shirley MacLaine and Hector Elizondo as an old married couple, and it's of interest that two Taylors, Swift and Lautner, had scenes together. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess was me, not him. For the rest, words fail me.
Oh God.
The structure of the film involves a large number of couples and additional characters who are not in couples. We wake up with them on the morning of February 14th, and all of their stories are completed by midnight. And as Ricky used to tell Lucy, there's a lot of splaining to do. Oh, that's an I Love Lucy
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah.
Because people who watched Valentine's Day in 2010 also caught I Love Lucy in the 50s or whatever. Several ancient formulas are employed. 1, best friends who don't realize they're really in love. 2, guy who thinks she loves him but she doesn't. 3, girl who thinks he loves her but he's married. 4, people sitting next to each other on an airplane striking up a conversation. 5, guy misunderstands phone call, draws wrong conclusion. 6, fifth grader's first crush. I think I did a better job of explaining the plot, but whatever. The most important character...
Also, spoiler alert.
Yeah, also...
Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
Right.
The most important characters are a florist named Reed and his best friend, Julia. That's Ashton Kutcher and Jennifer Garner.
Thought he wasn't going to explain the plot.
But then he did. Where was I? They don't have enough screen time to create three-dimensional characters, but at least they get up to 2, leaving everyone else stuck at 1 or below. They're both attractive, but then all 25
Wait,
stars...
1 or below?
Yeah.
What's below the first dimension?
Oh, I don't know. Sand? I don't know. Dust?
Abstraction.
They're both attractive, but then all 21 stars are attractive, especially if, like me, you think George Lopez is handsome, especially when he smiles.
Ooh,
That was
wow.
Woo!
Wow.
That's the first time I've ever heard him talk about the looks of any person ever. And of course it was,
It was
George
George
Lopez.
Lopez. It was not even like, it was 2010 George Lopez.
Also, can I point out, like, Ebert's worst nightmare. Like, Lopez is not a fantastic actor and shouldn't have made his way into movies. And, like, wow, that shocked me. Old man Ebert's got a crush.
I don't know necessarily how to pronounce this word, but I'm going to try my best. There's one
Peculiar?
peculiarity.
Oh.
Peculiarity. There's one peculiarity, usually in formula pictures with this huge a cast, maybe one couple will be African American, one Latino, and one Asian. No such luck. I didn't actually notice this until he pointed out.
Oh yeah.
There was no Asians at all. The black characters include a goofy TV sports reporter and a wise agent. That's Queen Latifah. I forgot to mention her. She's Anne Hathaway's boss. And
Nice.
somehow Anne Hathaway gets the not sex trafficking, Jesus.
Wow.
The phone sex hotline redirected to Queen Latifah's work phone. I don't know. It was weird. Lopez, a Mexican-American, is relegated to the role of Kutcher's sidekick, i.e. the Tonto role.
Oh,
There
that's,
are-
yeah, that makes sense.
It's like the Lone Ranger sidekick.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. There are a lot of Indians in the movie, for instance,
Oh.
at the next
he
table
went
in
right
the
to
Indian
that.
restaurant, revealing that when Indians are out to dinner, they act like Indians in a movie comedy. This is the last paragraph, I promise. The form of the movie may remind you wistfully of a much better one, Love Actually, which created characters we cared a great deal about. None of the characters here ever get behind the, look, there's name of star threshold. You know, when your mind says, look, there's Patrick Dempsey. Look, there's Anne Hathaway. Look, there's Topher Grace. Wow, that's Jessica Biel. Valentine's Day is being marketed as a date. That was the end of that thought. Valentine's Day is being marketed as a date movie. I think it's more of a first date movie. If your date likes it, do not date that person again.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
If you like it, then there may not be a second date.
Ooh. Get wrecked, Anthony.
Harsh.
I thought it was pretty okay. I disagree that the characters are unlikable and hard to relate to. I thought I found myself attaching myself to quite a few characters.
Yeah, but you're not Ebert. You.
Yeah,
idiot.
no, but I'm not amazing Hollywood movie critic Roger Ebert. So what do you got? This is my favorite part.
Well, it doesn't fit into his. I thought he was gonna love it. Old man Ebert. You know what? You know what I think it is. It was just too much for the old
Right?
guy.
No, that was my
Yeah.
understanding. He's an old dude, and he just had to watch a movie with like realistically like 9 different plots.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he even said himself he was like it was hard to care and pay attention.
Mm. Yeah, I think he's probably 150 years overdue of retirement at this
I
point.
will say, just once again, and I have this complaint every time, and I'm going to have it every time because it doesn't look like it's ever going to change. He doesn't explain why he gave it the score he gave it. Like, I can
Yeah.
piece together why
Mhm.
he gave it 2 stars, but just fucking tell me, like, here's why this movie got 2 stars.
Especially, no, we have this talk every time, but like, I've said it before, 2 stars out of a 4-star system,
Is
it
yeah.
could mean anything, especially if you're not going to explain it.
Last
we say it every
time-
time, but
I forget what movie we were talking about, but last time you were like, give a rating for this movie, and as a goof, I gave it out of 4, and you were like, dude, give it out of 10, and then I gave it out of 10, and you were like, I understand way better
yeah,
how
Right.
you liked that movie.
it's if you're
It-
not going to explain your rating, have a decent rating where people know.
No, it's
Wait,
yeah.
needlessly confusing, and
Yeah.
it seems like he did it on purpose.
Well, we're just not smart enough.
no, and if he was here in the room with us, God rest his soul, that's what he would say.
Yeah.
He would say something along the lines of like, "Well, you're not looking at the bigger picture, Thunder and Lightning." Because he would refer to us as that. He would refer to us as Thunder and Lightning from the Thunder and Lightning podcast played by Chris and Anthony. Like he
Yeah.
would say all that because
1
that's
out
how
of
we
4
fucking talk.
stars.
1 out
Wow.
of 4. I've listened to every episode of your podcast. I give it a 1 out of 4.
I think God, this isn't right to say to the people who. Thank you, everybody who watches, but I think I just instinctively call him a loser if he said he's listened to all of our stuff and gave us a 1 out of 4 rating.
Well, assuming he's still alive and he's got things to be doing, like reviewing the new Joker movie, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But instead he's binging our podcast that we just kind of sometimes just throw together in a afternoon.
But yeah, I mean, he's old, cranky. No, well, I mean, it was just a lot. I think it was a lot for
Yeah.
him to handle.
I will say he didn't in his old age, I noticed he does this a lot and he didn't do it this time. He didn't talk about like the group of people he went to see the movie with.
Mm.
Oh,
Usually
yeah.
he's
Well-
like the people I was with like this.
All his
Liked it
friends
like
are dead
this.
in Ebert in Emil's in
Wow.
college.
Emil
so-
doesn't. Oh yeah, okay. Emil's too busy, and the
Yeah.
cat's in the cradle. All right.
Wow, that was mean.
Wow.
Wait, mean? Who was mean? What was
Me,
mean?
I said
oh,
all his
okay.
friends are dead.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
What was I gonna say? He
You were gonna say, Emil, if you're listening, please.
No, that's your line. You're not the first guest officially, but you'll we'll love you all the same.
You could be the second.
Okay.
yes.
All right.
What was I gonna say? I can't remember. He's an old man. It was too much information for him to take in. I had another point.
But see, like, and to that I say, like, there was like 9 or 10 plots to follow in this film. Just pick a couple.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what I tried to do. Like, I tried to keep a good tally of all of them just so I could talk about them on the podcast. But there was the ones I didn't care about and the ones I did care about. Like, I didn't care about the football player until he came out. I was like, holy shit, that was a twist.
Yeah.
But, like, I really only focused on, like, 2 or 3.
I feel like this film, like, kind of like it has the same style as like Pulp Fiction a little bit, but it's like, you know, like instead of like being like an edgy like gangster kind of thing, it's a more like, you know, like it's rom-com.
Yeah.
But I feel like the person who like tried to like, you know, make this film, he went in a direction like that was similar to Pulp Fiction, and I think that's what he was trying to do. But it just became like really like I know like some people can't like follow along like that kind of like convoluted like story plot line style, and like to do Pulp Fiction only is like 3, I think.
Mm.
This film had like 9 or 10, and that's like really hard to do.
It's interesting you talk about the person who made it, because Valentine's Day was made by American romantic comedy film director Gary Marshall,
Okay.
who is known for like some of the best ones. He made The Odd Couple. Oh, this is TV. Hang on. He made Pretty Women, and
Oh, wow.
he made. Hang on, there was a better list up here. The Odd Couple. He made Beaches, Runaway Bride, The Princess Diary.
What?
But his last like foray into making movies
Uh-huh.
were these 3 movies I was talking about: Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, and Mother's Day.
Uh-huh.
Which is weird because Valentine's Day came out in 2010, New Year's Eve came out in 2011, Mother's Day came out in 2016.
Oh.
Is that the one like Angela Bassett or no?
No. Mother's Day is Jennifer Aniston, Kate Hudson, Julia Roberts, Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think there was like a Netflix one, but anyway.
When are we gonna get the prequels? Like Phantom of the Valentine's Day.
Oh. No, it's got to be like, how the fuck did he? Sorry, your joke was funny, and it could have been funnier if we kept talking about it. How did he do Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, and then Mother's Day? Why didn't he do Christmas?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
What the fuck? People love Christmas films.
It would have, yeah. I think it's the market's too like saturated with those.
But
kind of
it's
films.
definitely not. Like, people will just go see Christmas movies because they're Christmas movies,
don't
and I'm not one
know.
of those people. But like, I feel like,
And also,
I feel
Christmas is very romantic too.
like I
I don't know.
heard about New Year's Eve, but I didn't hear about this Mother's Day movie,
Right.
and I feel like I would have if it was a Christmas film, and it was just called Christmas. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. This style of movies, as I'm sure you know, are not my forte.
no, and I
Um,
wouldn't, and I'm not saying like, oh, Chris, you should watch this movie because it was good. I mean, you wouldn't like it, but
Yeah. It sounds like a Hallmark movie to me.
Mm.
It was like a That's a good way of. It's like a Hallmark movie plus. It's like, no, you know what? Not Hallmark movie plus. It's like if a Hallmark movie had really, really good actors in it.
Okay.
Because all the actors in this film, like Roger Ebert said, are like A-listers, like really good actors, like fucking Bradley Cooper, you know, Jennifer Garner, like a ton of actors that I like and I've seen in other stuff, but it's like we got them to make a rom-com one time, but all at the same time. We got them to
Right.
make 12 consecutive rom-coms, but we tricked them into making one movie.
Right.
Maybe that's why Mother's Day took so long, because it took like 4 years to film because everyone was busy or whatever the hell.
Well, they had to
Maybe.
settle on a holiday.
Why Mother's Day? I've never seen it, but like, why Mother's Day?
I think at that point they've narrowed down what their you know, I can't think today.
Demographic?
Yeah, what their demographic is, and they were
Right.
like, "Screw it! Only moms
Oh, you
ages
You know
30
what?
to
Maybe
50 are
like
watching."
like housewife age moms are watching these kinds of films,
Yeah.
and that's why.
That's
That's
what I
why.
just said.
Oh, I mean, sorry.
I was
All
making
I'm
I was
saying-
making a joke, and you
Sorry.
interrupted me, but my joke was what you said.
I'm sorry.
All I'm saying is, sometimes I watch a rom-com and I'm like, what the fuck? But sometimes I watch a rom-com and I'm happily surprised at how much I liked it. And that was this time. Didn't like it that much, but I liked it enough to want
Talk
to talk
about
about
it?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's no letters to Juliet, but, you know.
I actually
Whatever.
like that one too.
Yeah, that one's great. That's why
Yeah,
I brought it
yeah.
up. I fucking love that film. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today, boys and girls. I'm here to talk about Happy Death Day to
Ooh.
You.
Make it a quick one. We've been going for a while.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. It's a little. You talked about El Camino for like a hot minute, and that's what I'm gonna do with
Okay.
to bookend the
Okay,
podcast.
yeah.
Because I'm not gonna spoil anything. Because I do want to watch it with you, Chris. I think you'd like them. The
Okay.
interesting part about this film, and I don't know if they necessarily got this through in advertising. Happy Death Day is a horror film,
Mhm.
and the basic premise is. Do you know the basic premise?
No.
It's like
the basic premise
Groundhog Day,
is
right?
it's like Groundhog Day, except she keeps getting murdered by someone.
Oh yeah. I
She
did
gets
know
murdered
that,
by
actually.
a killer. She wakes up again. She has to spend the movie figuring out how and why and how to stop it or whatever. The sequel, as far as the trailers to the movie are concerned, is now it's happening to other people. What I liked about this movie is that this movie is it takes place like moments after the first one, which
Okay.
is really cool. And it's also like not a horror film. Like I don't know if like they meant that or like if they thought they were making a horror film and it just didn't work out that way. And like I didn't mind it. It was the plot line was cool, and that's kind of what I was there for, the characters and the plot. But like it was not. There was maybe one jump scare, and the rest of the movie wasn't really a horror film. It was just kind of like an action thriller, which is like
Okay.
fine, you know. But like as far as a sequel goes, I thought it was really good. I thought it was one of the best sequels I've seen in a while. Especially because Happy Death Day was one of those movies where it's like, oh, just another horror movie. I guess we'll see it.
Yeah.
Said America. And then I saw it and I really liked it. And then I heard they were making a sequel. And I was like, what? I guess this one didn't do that good. I guess they're probably not going to make a third one. But this is actually kind of cool. I've never heard a director say this. The director said that if they don't make a third one, he'll get the story out there somehow. Like
Okay.
whether or not he like releases a script or makes it a podcast or something, he's gonna.
Yeah.
So that was cool. This movie had a fucking after the credits scene.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Marvel films have ruined me, and I always stay till the end of the credits. And this time, I was rewarded with an actual like plot-driven after the credits scene. I was like, what?
That's good.
But yeah, it was good. I recommend it. They're both on HBO Go right now. Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to
Oh,
You
okay.
are both on HBO Go. It was funny. My dad came into my room and he was like, hey, could you help me set up HBO Go on my PS4? And I was like, oh, I thought I already did that. Of course I'll help you with that. He was like, yeah, in the morning. I want to watch something with Mom. And then because he said that, I was like, oh, I haven't checked HBO Go in a while. And Happy Death Day to You was on there. I was like, oh, I'll watch that. Turns out that's what he wanted to watch. Happy Death Day to You. I literally caught it like the hour it was uploaded.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
cool.
Yeah. So and I had no idea until I go downstairs. My parents are watching it, and I was like, "Oh, do you like it? It's good, right?" But yeah, there go, and that's the game.
Yeah.
And there goes the battle.
I was doing Mario Baseball, but sure, you can sabotage my thing with a reference to Pokemon Stadium.